Yes, Corley. I'm glad to be able to speak on this motion, but as the previous two speakers have demonstrated, commercial rates is really only one small aspect of a debate that needs to be had on the whole question of local government reform. And part of the problem is that we have a situation where, with funds drying up, I mean, such, for example, as the one that Deputy Anne Phelan mentioned of the development levies, the councils are more dependent on the commercial rates than they were, even though obviously there's less money available there to go into the services. And the points made by both her and Deputy Deering concerning the problems that arose from the decision to abolish rates in 1977, unfortunately, are correct. That really cut the legs off from under local government, and which is a huge pity, because the more decisions that can be made at grassroots level, the better for society. So it is really important that we do our best to bring in reform. It should be mentioned, and I know this isn't enough, but I was looking at the figures last year, and for last year, and 13 of the county and borough councils did manage to reduce commercial rates to some degree. I know it probably wasn't enough, but it was a start, and really the whole issue needs to be tackled on a broader basis. Now, another main source of funding for local government is the local government fund, which basically comes from motor taxation. And when Minister Brendan Howlin was in charge of environment in the mid-90s, he introduced this and ring-fenced it for local authorities. The problem, though, with that particular fund is that it doesn't necessarily, while it does go back into local government, it doesn't necessarily go to the county, or all of it to the county which collects it. Because, I mean, if I look at my own county, there are 4 county councils in the Dublin area, and South Dublin, where I live, has a population of about 250,000. We get 24.3 million from that particular fund. At the other end of the scale, Leitrim, with 31,000 people, gets more than 14 million, despite the fact that it has so much smaller population. Now, there are reasons for that, but it's important that there's equity. And even if we look at the Dublin area, our county, which has almost exactly the same population as Fingal, gets 24.3 million from that fund. Fingal, which has a slightly smaller population, gets almost 30. I'm asking that the Minister look at this situation and try to come up with a more equitable arrangement. One other thing I want to refer to briefly, I know there's to be a €100 charge coming in. Assuming that comes in, it is really important that money goes directly to the councils. It goes to the councils where the people who are paying it live, so that they can use it. Because one of the problems that exists at the moment is that it's very difficult to get even small jobs done in councils, whether it's pruning trees, jetting the shores, which was very necessary at the time of the flooding here in Dublin, not to mind doing minor repairs like footpaths. Overall, just finished. Overall, there's a serious point in this motion, but it's only tipping at the major issue, the crying need for major reform on how local government is run in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy John O'Mahony. Deputy, 4 minutes.